Welcome guys dito sa special episode natin ng FYI, a Voter Education Program with our great friends here at CSP LaSalle. And of course, we have always very, very special guests. And I'm sure you know sino itong tao na to. Pag-usapan natin as things happen, yung Group Hague na nangyari sa Netherlands, whereby you have the Vice President joining the father. And my goodness, the implications of that for Philippine politics, democracy, and a rules-based international order. Pag-usapan natin yan. Yes, Sir Ronald, kamusta? Ang daming developments since last night. Medyo iba sa at parang puyat pa tayo. 2 a.m. pa tayo nagtitext kanina. So, Sara Duterte is also now in The Hague?
Yes.
Oh my God. So, talagang...
Including Bongo.
Group Hague. Talagang Group Hague ang mangyayari ngayon.
Oh,
and as of now, is there news on Bato de la Rosa?
No, nothing.
Oh
no
my
interviews, no pictures, no. Must be trembling with fear or crying not so crocodile tears.
baka totoong tears na ito mangyari. No, let's be honest, Sir Ronald. I mean, obviously, earlier, you were thinking that maybe Duterte will be rational enough to consider in China. One theory that is emerging right now, at of course, galit ako sa China ngayon kasi ni-reject yung visa ko bigla, is that baka China also was not willing to fully accommodate him. Baka useless din kasi siya sa China.
Or China is distracted somewhere else. They were focusing on the trade war with Trump, and Digong is not that important in the scheme of things, at least at that moment. So they weren't paying attention. They tried to catch up yesterday by issuing a statement attacking the ICC to weaponize,
not to politicize it.
Yes, and having double standards. But actually, nakatulong yan sa mga kalaban ni Digong. Dahil ngayon, mas lalo siyang maipipinta na hindi lamang kriminal ng ICC, Crimes Against Humanity. Kung hindi, siya ay talagang stooge ng China with the statement of China yesterday. Siguro na-realize ng China, oops, mali. No, mali. Kung tutulong sila kay Digong, dapat patago. Not as public as yesterday.
And he's not worth the salt maybe also? I mean, in terms of his residual influence, his ability to shape the Philippines?
Well, with the 9 out of 10 Filipinos anti-China, no, that won't help any. Especially yung matitira sa Pilipinas like Sara, like Bongo, Bato, and their allies, no, and their family. So, hindi ko alam how they will strategize. Of course, ang kanilang narrative ngayon ay pinayagan ng gobyerno ang isang dayuhan na institusyon para kidnapin yung dating presidente at dalhin sa Den Haag. No? Ikalawa, kami ay inaapi, kami ay persecuted ng gobyerno, walang due process, walang rule of law, violate ang aming human rights. Diba? Napaka-poetic, diba? Yung mga Duterte ngayon ang victims of human rights.
Mag-hunger strike daw sila sa EDSA ngayon. Sabi ko, actually marami dyan sa kasama. Kailangan yata nila ng medyo hunger strike.
Especially si Executive Secretary Major.
Di tayo nagpa-body shame, just to be clear. Just to be clear. Pero I think marami sa kanila medyo... Makakatulong.
Mas tumagal ang buhay.
Para sa health.
Ayun.
But Sir Ronald, kahapon also, you know, I did a couple of interviews in CNN and BBC. So a lot of ambassadors were messaging me. Sabi na, Richard, do you have any marites on why parang na-delay daw yung pang-fly outside of the country? Kasi parang umabot ng 9 p.m. if I'm not...
Una, dahil...
What was the logistical reason?
Una ay hindi naman totoo yung kinakalat ng nila Lambino, senatorial candidate nila Digong, na nakakuha sila ng TRO of the Supreme Court. It never happened. It was just raffled. No? It was just raffled. Kaya hindi naman nagmamadali yung plane. Ikalawa, siguro ang balita ko lang, may mga ibang mga technical issues at saka mga permits na kinakailangan tapusin. Dahil nga, isa yung private jet. Hindi naman yung commercial jet. So maraming kailangan ayusin para siya ay mag-landing sa Dubai, sa Macau. Alam ko,
may connecting flight
connecting flight din sila sa Rome. Dahil maliit na plane yan eh. Ibig sabihin,
sabi na sa akin, baka Japan pa daw eh.
Maraming stopover. Hindi, kung nag-Macau na sila, hindi na kailangan sa Japan. So Macau, Dubai, and probably Rome. Dahil kausap ko yung ambassador sa Italy, sabi niya, mukhang mag-i-stopover din daw sa Rome. No? So mga 2 or 3 stopovers dahil nga maliit yung plane. No? Pero by this time, or in a couple of hours, baka nasa Den Haag na siya.
Right. So by the time this is out, hopefully Duterte is within the jurisdiction of the ICC. When I say hopefully, it's because, well, I mean, it
yung
is what
klase
it is.
nung anak ko, panganay ko, na nasa Netherlands, ay mag-organize sila ng field trip. Dun sa...
ano yung parang zoo ba yan?
Kung saan i-detain si Digong. So, gusto nila magpa-picture kay Digong.
Parang zoo, gano'n. Like may parating na special, ano.
Talagang field trip, no?
Field trip. But Sir, you tell me, like, it still feels surreal, right? I mean,
yes.
It still feels surreal, right?
Yes. Dahil masyadong mabilis yung pangyayari, at you never thought na magiging biktima ng misdirection at saka ma-outmaneuver yung mga Duterte.
Outsmart sila.
Dahil they were expecting they will stay a few days sa Manila, makakakuha sila ng legal remedies sa Supreme Court, na confident sila na 9 out of 13 justices are appointed ni Digong. No, isa lang doon ay pwede na silang i-TRO. No, ikalawa ay mobilization. May mga forces na kumausap kay Digong the night bago siya bumalik, na huwag ka munang bumalik dahil hindi pa kami handa. No? Mukhang nagsama-sama yung hubris, yung disinformation, poor intelligence, at saka yung kulambo.
And it's possible that aside from the Colombo and the Amoy and all of that, baka nga China was also not willing to give him the conditions he was looking for. Yun yung sense ko. So,
tingin ko China is willing. Sabi naman niya originally, he is going to wait a month para mag-observe. That is the logical.
That would have been the sensible
that is the logical
thing to do,
position. Pero hindi naman strong point ni Digong ang logic. No, bravura, yes. No, bravura.
But it kind of worked for him, right? The fact that he won every elections throughout the years, he did very well when he was in terms of yung Machiavellian skills niya is hard to understand.
Yes, at saka yung kanyang populist, disruptive, authentic framework
Defiant,
works. No? Worked as a mayor, worked as president, pero mukhang this is the beginning of the end.
And the latter part of the discussion, of course, there's the other side of this coin. As I said, did we also underestimate BBM? Was BBM actually much more like speak softly but carry a big stick or something else all the while?
Probably, pero baka late din na-realize ni BBM that this is an existential battle. Their political and even physical annihilation is at stake. No? Kaya medyo late yung impeachment, no? Medyo na-discarril sila because of the budget. So, hindi rin naman ganun ka-organized. Pero late in the day, na-realize din niya, oops, we have to do something or else we're doomed. No, sabi nga ni Matt Lee sa Wacky Races, di ba inabutan yun? We'll never make it. No, ayun. So,
well, baka ito naabutan niya. Speaking of General Torre, there are a lot of people who are seeing him as a hero among others. I know, of course, what tends to happen is one man gets all the credit, ganun. So, of course, I'm sure many people deserve credit for what's happened. Even so, Conchita Morales, our good friend, former ombudsman and justice there. Of course, Villamor, the military was there. But andun, through and through, andun si General Torre. How important was having General Torre in the mix after the Kibuloy successful operation?
Well, it's important dahil siya ang head ng CIDG at dahil sa kanyang experience kay Kibuloy. Pero marami kasing mga unseen hands. Marami mga invisible people.
Of course.
Which crafted this strategy.
Na hindi ikaw kasama, Sir Ronald. Just to be clear,
hindi ako kasama dito.
Wala kasama dito sa atin.
Misdirection, no? Disinformation, no? Planting bad seed, no? Do sa mismong kampo ni Digong, sa kanyang mga supporters. So, people operated behind the scenes. Wala silang mga pangalan, they're invisible. But I think they were more important than those who appeared to be...
Of course, to be on the front. Yeah.
Yes. So, siguro later,
there'll be memoir, gano'n?
Pag sila ay mga 80 or 90 na,
memoir.
pwede nilang ikwento yung actual na nangyari dito.
Parang ikaw, di ba? Parang nawala ka ng, hindi ka na 80, pero yung nawala ka bigla after Pinoy, biglang lumitaw ka. Namin nagtanong, sino to si Ronald? Ba't ang sikat niya bigla? I see everywhere. Sabi ko kasi nakatago dati.
Andun nga si Gretchen ngayon sa ICC.
Right.
No? Paano daw papasok? Ganyan. Sabi ko, walang pwedeng pumasok dyan. No?
Yeah.
Maliban sa isang tao. So, pinadala ko yung mga pictures ko sa loob ng ICC. Even my ID.
Nag-flex ka na naman. Sir Ronald.
Even my ID. No?
Kaya I'm sure,
that was a long time ago.
I'm sure it's not you behind the scenes kasi masyado ka nag-flex.
That was after my term sa cabinet. So.
Talagang Sir Ronald, yung mga flex mo. And last point, pagdating sa ating mga minamahal na tunay na opposition / biglang independent, paparinig naman tayo. No, they should step up, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't know kung napanood mo, you had time to watch yung press conference ng Malacanang and all kahapon. Medyo
boring.
Not good. Right? Like this is your moment to rally, gano'n. Pero hindi mo rin sila masisisi kasi sablay talaga yung line ng government. Tapos sasabihin mo, hindi kami ICC category. And then, papalisin namin. And then, okay na sa, if you start from that, talagang mahirapan ka to spin this, di ba?
Yeah, nung pinapanood ko nga, parang nagki-cringe ako ng konti. Oops, napapaganon ako eh.
Sabi ko, sana may Harry Roque sila.
Oops.
Sana may Harry Roque sila.
Pero ang isang bagay na huwag kalimutan, this is not just a battle between the Marcoses and the Duterte. Kahit existential battle na ito between the two members of the unity team. Ito ay labanan ng mga pamilya, ng mga victims in their thousands, ng EJK. Yung mga collateral damage na ang tawag ni Bato ay shit happens. No? More than 150, 60 of them, mga sanggol, mga bata, mga matatanda, lola, na naging collateral damage. No? Sobrang dami nun. No?
Kaya nga sabi ko, kaysa maawang tao sa matandang yan, I mean, actually...
Ito. Katulad kahapon, nagmisa sila twice, yung victims. No? At parang vindication nila ito. Si Karandi, yung tsuhin ni Kian de los Santos, namumuo yung kanyang luha habang nagpapaliwanag siya. Dahil kahit sila nagulat eh. No? Ina-aspire nila ito, pero nung nangyari, sila ay nagulat. No? Dahil nga, this is the most powerful person sa ating bansa. Ito lang ang nakakuha ng 93% approval rating. Kahit sinong presidente, hindi nakakuha nun. Ang pinakamalapit lang doon ay si Hitler at the height of his power sa Nazi Germany. Wala akong nakita na 93%.
Well, Kim Jong-un, I think, had 99.1%. So, and Saddam Hussein.
So, kahit sila nagulat. Pero ito, parang kung napanood mo yung misa nila kahapon, no, talaga naghahagulgulan sila. No? At ngayon, lumalabas ngayon sa social media, yung pictures ng mga biktima. Huwag natin kalimutan sila. No? Hindi lang to labanan ng mga Marcoses at mga Duterte. It is a battle against impunity, laban sa mga halimaw, dito sa mga maliliit na tao, na ngayon ay unti-unting nare-realize, kahit ng mga supporters ni Digong, katulad lang namin itong mga to. Pwede palang nangyari sa amin ito. Pwede palang anak namin si Kian de los Santos. Pwede palang kaibigan ng aming mga anak ito, no? Etc. So ngayon na nare-realize, ngayon sila nagsisimulang makarelate, no? Dito. Siguro sa ibang episode, i-deconstruct natin. Anong ibig sabihin yan?
I know you have to
cultural,
go,
sociological, political, no?
Hopefully we'll have you soon again, and also with Justice Carpy among other. Ilalagay na kita sa luminaries as our honorary professor. No, but Sir Ronald, on a serious note, I was also talking to Gretchen the other day on this because I'm getting updates on Pope Francis. The old man we're praying, by the way, is Pope Francis. I don't know about the other old man. Just to be clear about that. Nagkulang ba ang media? Nagkulang ba tayong lahat in terms of yung dapat binigyan natin ng boses talaga, yung tunay na boses yung mga biktima? Kasi, I've read Patricia Evangelista, my colleague back in the day in UP. I've read so many articles about it. But even Matubato and Las Cañas, narinig na natin yung boses nila. Alam mo, ang kulang sa akin, Sir Ronald, yung boses ng hindi lang pamilya ni Kian de los Santos, pero libo-libong sa ating mga kabayan na matay. Tsaka yung mga kabataan.
Most of us nagkulang naman.
Nagkulang tayo,
pero
diba?
Hindi ko gusto yung nangyari last year sa congressional hearing na sinisi pa yung mga pamilya ng biktima. Na bakit ngayon lang kayo nagsalita?
Dapat sinabi na bakit ngayon lang kayo nag-quadcom.
Tsaka sila, sumuporta sila kay Digong before.
Exactly.
No? Tapos sila ngayon yung malakas ang loob na manisi. Itong maliliit na tao na ito, kapapatay lang ng kanilang mga kamag-anak. Tapos sisisihin mo na bakit sila natakot na lumantad. No? Itong mga AHOLE na to, no, ay dapat nakita yung tunay na kalagayan dun sa mga squatters area na inuubos yung mga kapatid, kamag-anak, anak, no, katulad ni Kian, no? Hindi nila naranasan 'yun eh. Kaya ang laki ng kanilang self-righteousness, no? Dito sa ganitong kalagayan.
Doon ako asar-asar. Yung iba medyo abante pero umatras eh. Yung literally tapos umatras.
Atras abante.
Pinaka-last to Sir Ronald. If ikaw yung pangalan mo if your name now is Bam Aquino or Kiko Pangilinan or you say you're from the liberal opposition, talagang papahamak kita bago ka umalis dito. Can you keep on saying, we don't want to comment on these things, gut issues lang tayo, pagkain, inflation, etc. Do you think it's right and electorally sensible to stick to that kind of line? I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but it looks like some friends in the opposition are saying, gut issues lang muna tayo, wag muna tayo sa mga contentious, polarizing issue. Well, I think you have to make your stance clear on this,
yes,
right?
This is a very critical moment in our history, a critical defining juncture. Dapat linawin nila which side of history are they on. No? Aside dun sa kanilang possible political calculation, ay kinakailangan din nilang i-calculate, no? What do they stand for? No? What do they stand for? At malinaw na malinaw, these are people's issues. At tingin ko the tide is turning. Even their political calculation ay pwedeng makinabang dito sa pag-turn ng tide against the Duterte.
Sara impeachment. Do you think now the Sara impeachment will finally have the momentum that the signal is sent to the senators? Oy, umayos-ayos na kayo. I mean business. Don't take me for granted. And if Sara is in The Hague right now, maybe,
Hindi lang yun.
Baka exile na sila doon.
Dalawang key variable ang tatama sa kanila. Una, hindi na to theoretical. Konkreto na itong crimes against humanity.
Right.
Gusto ba nilang ma-identify dyan? Hindi pwedeng ihiwalay dyan si Sara. Hindi dyan pwedeng ihiwalay sila Bato, sila Bongo. Dahil they were the creation of Digong. At kung mag-unravel si Digong, tatamaan sila. Ikalawa, yung China factor. Clearly, nung nakaramdam ng pangalib si Digong, saan siya unang tumakbo? Sa China. Diba? At sino yung unang bumatikos sa ICC nung nahuli si Digong? China. No? So, ito yung huling chapter lamang dun sa mahabang episode ni Digong kowtowing to China. No? Kaya tingin ko, ito ay tatama dun sa mga senador. No? Sabagay, medyo makapal yung balat nila. Pwede hindi sila makaramdam ng tama. Pero at their own risk.
At their own risk. And I think Duterte showed us that hubris will have its cost. Although, at least for him, he's gonna have a first world the treatment there. Medyo, maganda naman yung healthcare system. I'm sure they're gonna make sure he stays alive, right? At
yes,
yung oxygen daw niya,
actually, yung nakita ko yung kwarto niya sa detention, sa
parang he doesn't deserve it. It's
parang
too good.
nainggit ako eh. Parang,
yun nga, it's too good.
Mas maganda pa sa kwarto ko.
Yun yung problema, mas maganda.
Tinanong ko nga kung pwede bang magkwan doon. Mag-Airbnb.
But hindi mas maganda sa studio niyan. So hopefully, Sir Ronald, we can have more of you in this studio in the coming future. I know you're in demand. Hopefully, magkakaroon ka ng...
Mukhang mas in demand ka sa akin.
Iba yung mga demands sa atin eh. Pero, see you in few hours. Ulitin natin yung isang episode. Dahil may pumulit na hindi uwi si Digong. But anyway, Sir Ronald, love ka namin. Thank you so much for making time for us. And mabuhay ka. And talk to you soon, guys. So, welcome dito sa latest episode natin. Well, actually, hindi latest. First ever episode natin ng FYI with Richard Heydarian. Ito yung election special voter education program natin. Pero parang hindi lang voter education eh. Medyo education din doon sa mga tropa at saka mga kandidato who should get their act together. Salamat and join us for the next episode.
Salamat.
Ayan na, mag-share na tayo sa gift mo para may endorsement na tayo.